Hey, it's our favorite Monte Carlo. It's back, but this time it's back for kind of some repair. There's an oil leak going on in this 2006 Chevrolet Monte Carlo. It's got the front wheel drive 5.3 liter V8. This is the one that I had the whole subframe out of it, not the one that I built the engine on. That was a different one, a slightly different colored red. This one, I had the engine out to do a like a bottom end reseal. I think we put a torque converter seal in it, oil pan, crankshaft seal, front crank seal. There was all kinds of stuff. I put a steering gear in this once upon a time. And like I said, it's back because it's got a bit of an oil leak. We were looking at the thing earlier and we had found that there's some oil kind of running down the front of the cylinder head right down there. You guys see that right there in that little corner? Yep. We traced that oil up the cylinder head, and it happens to be on the rear cylinder head as well. But we traced it up, and we see that there's a lot of oil around this valley area. So I'm of the opinion that the valley cover or VLOM cover has a leak to it. There's a perimeter gasket that goes around that unit. In fact, I've got one over here. I'll show you. And I believe that is where the leak's at. So we're gonna pull the intake manifold off and take a peek. This right here is the lifter solenoid assembly for the LS engine. Now, the purpose of all this rigmarole here is to harbor all of these solenoids, these 4 solenoids here. And what these do is they allow and restrict oil flow to the lifters in order to turn this engine from an 8-cylinder into a 4-cylinder. It's a fuel saving measure. We can see there's a connector up on the top that the ECM uses to talk to all of the solenoids, and as the ECM commands those opened and closed, it'll again change this from a V8 to a 4-cylinder depending on depending on drivability conditions. Now, what I think is going on is this gasket has sort of flattened out and is causing a leak. Now, what we're not going to do is pull the whole VLOM assembly apart and then reseal all of it. We're just going to pop that unit off and just throw a perimeter gasket in there, and then that's going to be that. So let's go ahead and get the intake manifold removed, and we can get that cover off of there, and then take a look at the gasket below and see what it's looking like. So stay tuned, because this right here is going to be a very good video. Opening the hood. Here's our brake rotor. There was our brake rotor. So the best place to start is from the beginning, so I figured that the intake tubing is definitely the beginning. So let's start peeling away the layers of the onion here, so to speak, and we'll get this this whole bit of business removed out of here. I want to see how far we can get with just a pocket screwdriver and maybe like a 10mm socket. So let's get the connector off for the throttle body. Lose you. There's one right down here for the coolant temp sensor. No, that's oil pressure. Pardon me, oil pressure temp sensor. So let's pull that guy off. Peel these guys back some. We got a map sensor over here. Manifold absolute pressure or barometric pressure. Sometimes one sensor works for both of those, but GM has been known to have multiple sensors that kind of do the same thing, so I'll call them both. Okay, that guy's off. Little purge valve here. Disconnect you. How did that? Okay, yeah, that goes there. We got that hose there going down to the valve cover. That's disconnected. Good. We're going to be needing some space, so all these fuel injectors, all 8 must become disconnected. So we go down, pop those little green things upwards. That's the locking tab. Unlock all the way, please. Give that a squeeze. Ooh, I almost impaled my flange with the screwdriver. That would have been painful. Safety clip recovered. Pull this guy out right here. There's another connector for the ignition coils. One little green guy. And another little green guy all the way back in the far away left-hand corner. You guys can't even see over there. That's super far away. There we go. Okay, that's half the harness disconnected. When we get the other half disconnected, we'll start pulling some other goodies out of here. Okay, looking up, let's take some heater core hoses and kind of shove those out of the way a little bit. Down there should be fine. Disconnect our purge valve, that's the red one. Then the hose. Pull that guy off, and we'll just feed that back and tuck you out of the way. Good. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. Okay, we have a couple more to contend with here. Some O2 sensor wire connector that is zip tied on. I might have to cut that off. Come here, injector. There we go. Get a little crampy back here. There's another injector and it's halfway under the alternator. That one's always fun to dig out. I'll leave it there if I can. I need to get this manifold up and out this way. Let's go ahead and get this intake plumbing off the rest of the way. Aha, it worked. Look at that. How far can we get with a pocket screwdriver? It's like the challenge on every GM engine before 2008. Get a lot of work done with just one of these little guys. There's another zip tie here. Break that off. Goodbye. Unclip you. Okay, that's our airbox lid. Filter's looking good. Leave that alone. Okay. All right, so I think my luck's running out with the pocket screwdriver. This may be the last operation before I busting out other tools. We need to pull the fuel line. We have to utilize these little scissors right here. They're not really scissors, but they're the fuel line disconnect tool. Inside of this housing, there's a bunch of little fingers, and those are gripping onto like this little flange that's part of the line. What we have to do is push the line in and then bring the tool into it to engage those little fingers, and it should let this thing walk off. That one's not reaching. I need to get a deeper one. Here, let us try the deeper one. I think that last one I had to cut down once to make it fit something. And now it only fits the one thing that I made to make it fit. Anyway, so I've got those little finger flangey things pushed in. We'll put a towel on here in case there's any pressure. I don't want to fuel spray myself. Come off of there, you. Ah, there we go. It went in a lot deeper that time. Just make sure there's no spray. I think we're good. Released. Beautiful. So now we can just pull this line off, set that out of the way, spill some fuel out of it, and I think we're about ready to start unbolting this thing. All right, let's start pulling some bolts out of here. I think there's 10 of them in total. Uh-oh. Batarasis! No! Take two. Tool change. All of my snap-on batteries are in use. Anyway, there should be 10 of these little guys over here. There's 5 on this side. That one's back there a little bit. There we go. And the hard one, uh-oh. Yeah, there's one hanging out under the bracket for that alternator. I'm wondering if I have to pull that bracket up to get this out. Go in there with a wrench and try to wrench the fastener out first. Little ratchet wrench here. I know it's a tight squeeze, but I might be able to sneak this out. I don't think I have to take this alternator bracket loose. If I do, I'll be upset because that means this is harder than I thought, but it is what it is. I think this power steering line needs to go away right here. That's way in the way. So I turn around, I found a pair of Dave's pliers right here. Those have been around for a while. There we go. Okay, so we're probably going to spill a little bit of that fluid when this comes apart, but it should be fine. So this little guy, little tool here, that's designed to push against hoses so I don't break the nipple off the reservoir here when I want to yank that off. Just kind of pry on it something like so. Push the thing right off of there. And it's still kind of stuck. That's fine. We'll just kind of flex it up here a little bit. There. Now I can drip power steering fluid on me while I try to sneak this bolt out. That was an improvement. Oh, I missed a bolt too. Multitasking. Check it out. All right, that's all the way out. I'm gonna make the attempt to pull this intake out of here. See if I can do it or not. Okay, so let's see if it's gonna come out. We have to go up and then this way, and then it should maneuver out from that little corner over there. I think it'll come out of here. I think it should. It's doesn't even have a shot. No, it's not. That bracket is hanging on to the fuel rail very fiercely. And I don't think I'm gonna get it to come out. I haven't lost hope yet. Hang on. Let's get some of these bolts out of here. I think those are falling back into their holes and getting caught. Except for that one. Can't get that one out. Ha ha! Ha 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 ha! It's gonna come out now. There she is. Got it. All right, so you guys see all this crusty, nasty business in here, right? I need to blow that out of here. Problem is, two of these intake runners have an open valve, and that's gonna be, looks like that one's open right there, right? And then I think this one, that one's slightly open over here. You guys can't see that? So I'm gonna blow this out with some air. What I wanna do is lock off these valves that are open real quick so none of this junk can go down in the hole. There's already been some debris that fell in. I found a piece of wire loom down inside of that one, and then some of this crusty stuff also fell in. Now don't yell at me acting like, oh, you should have blew it off before you took the intake off, because I did that, but that's a very large and pronounced intake, and there's no way to clean out underneath of there without removing it. So that's what happens. You do get dirt inside of it, but it's fine because I can use some more compressed air to remove said dirt and blow it all out. So what I'll do, I'm just gonna fill up these two holes with some towels. That way none of the stuff that I blow out can blow its way in, and we're gonna create loud noises and blow that nasty away from the intake. Goodbye. There, now it's nice and shiny-ish, but I have an idea. Let's get some cleaner. Now, what I'm gonna use is not for that. It's actually for like carbon and throttle bodies and stuff. It's called Amsoil Power Foam. It's a carburetor and induction system cleaner for 2- and 4-stroke gasoline engines. It says so right there. But it should be just fine to spray all over this because I want some of it to go down inside of those intake runners. We can clean out some of that business as well. Make it all super nice and shiny. I'll get those remaining 2 plugs later on. Just hose all that off real nice like. There we go. Reckless. Let that stuff soak in for a little while. Very good. If you'd like to try this for yourself, check the link down in this video's description to Amsoil.com, and you can find some of the Amsoil foaming power cleaner. Not a sponsored link. I am an Amsoil dealer and I do sell product like that. So I figured since I used it, the viewers are going to ask, so I will tell you where to go. And again, that's in the bottom of this video's description. That will end my moment of shameless self-promotion. So now that we've got some decent cleaner in the mix here, we can go through and just wipe away the rest of that nasty. Yeah, look at that. Not a bad cleaner. It actually might be better than brake clean in certain applications where there's lots of carbon and varnish. Brake clean doesn't take out carbon very well. It does, but you gotta like scrub at it and agitate it. This stuff seems to just be wiping it straight away. Now, this is the 3rd time that I've used said product. Last one was on a Prius. And so far, it seems to be pretty good. I'm enjoying it. So now that I've got the bulk of that nasty stuff cleaned out of there, we'll hit it again with some air and just blow out the residual liquid, and we'll blow these intakes out as well. Loud Noises 2.0. That is not shiny. Nothing shiny about this. Okay, so now I can go through with a different kind of cleaner solvent and wash the rest of that stuff down. That's what we're used to. I think it's like a 1-2 punch for super shininess. It's actually really nice. Look at that. Beautiful. Much, much more better. Oh no, I'm running out, but I don't really need another. Plug that hole back up. Get rid of that. Okay, enough screwing around. Let's get this thing taken apart. Come here. Let's take it apart and see what those gaskets look like. Stop doing that. Stay. Okay, we have one more connector here. That's that guy right there. That's the one so the ECM can talk to the solenoid pack inside, and then we've got 13 millimeters worth of bolts. Let's pull these guys out. That one was loose. That one's loose. That gasket has definitely compressed. And this is our suspected leaker corner as well. So, oh, that one's loose. See that? That one's loose. And that one was loose. All right, well, now we are getting somewhere. You gonna come off or what? Ah, it said what? That's fine. Did I miss one? Yeah, there's one right there. Silly rabbit. It's like Rabbit and Ray. That one was tight. There, okay. Now it's loose. Let's pull this thing up and out and see what we got to look at here. Looking pretty good in this valley. That's super clean. No sludge. It's almost like using premium oil pays. Weird. Yeah, that's super shiny in there. Okay, well, I got the surface wiped clean. Let's head over to the manifold on the bench and we'll start getting these gaskets swapped out. Now, this is going to be the controversial part where you guys get mad at me for doing a halfway job. So if you see here, we've got our gasket, and it is in fact the shape of the perimeter of this unit here. However, on the VLOM cover, you can see there's gasket, there's some, and there's some, right? The problem is there's two ways to reseal this. We can do the perimeter gasket and make sure the bolts are tight, or we can disassemble this entire manifold assembly here and then replace those inner gaskets as well. Now, the original gasket, these gaskets are made into this gasket, okay? This gasket here is designed just for the external leak, not for a repair of the VLOM system. So we're gonna roll the dice here to save some labor money and time, and we're just gonna change this outside section of gasket, not the inside. So that is hence that's the reason I have the cutters out, because we have to separate this section of the gasket material from this section down here. And we can do that by cutting them right there. See that little cut? You break that thing off and cut it off, and then we'll be able to get the perimeter gasket disconnected from the inner part. There we go. Cut that one off. Cut that one twice. There. Oh, missed one. One more right here. And voila. That's how we do that. So, need to go through, wipe this down a little bit, get all the dirt out of it, then we can stick this unit on there and then bolt it back onto the vehicle. Give it a bit of a wipey down here. Just make sure there's no hard debris in there like this. Get rid of you. Okay, I think that's good. Let's commit to buying this particular piece of replacement part. See, it says not returnable if seal is broken, so we have just committed to buying it forever and ever and ever. Like so. Now there's really not much here to hold that. I'm going to throw some RTV on it just so it can't flop around. That way it stays located, and then we'll drop it down into position over yonder. So let's see. Room temperature vulcanizing. That one still has liquid in it. Okay. That's what RTV stands for. Room temperature vulcanizing. That's the acronym. Now this is long since hardened up, and I've already poked holes in the side of it to get the remaining sealant out, so I'll just poke another hole inside of it. See that? So now when we squeeze it, we have a side hole, not a front hole. Flip that guy over. We'll put a little dab right here for fun. Too much. A little bit right here for fun. This is just going to give us some friction so that thing doesn't flop around. A little bit right here. That's fine. There we go. Good. Okay, let's get this thing back in position. We'll bolt her back down. All right, I'm coming back in. VLOM in hand. Get in there, please. That's it. Now we're cooking with Crisco. It's in position. Beautiful. One more screw. I lost one. See, it's stuff like this that is the reason that I have piles of parts sitting around. Like, if I lose the fastener, because it happens, I can fetch one from an old part. Yay! Let's practice some actual clicks here. Get this thing nice and tight, like. I missed that one bolt again that I forgot to remember when I disassembled. How about that? Let's check these middle ones where we started, see if they're loose. Nope. Nope. And we got one more. Uno más. The one I forgot to remember. Clicked. Beautiful. Okay. Now we're resealed. So let's begin with the reassembly process. This guy gets plugged in later. Can't plug it in right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get more brake clean out real quick. We're going to blow out this area again, clean these runners out one more time, make sure that they're in fantastic shape. Then we'll slap that manifold back on. So I'm going to blow this out one more time. I'll see you when I'm done. All right, intake's coming in. We're going to do it the same way we took it out, at this weird goofy angle, making sure I don't smash any pieces of wiring harness. And we're just going to slide her on down in there. I think. Right? That's what we do. Get in there, you thing, you. It's that bolt. There she is. Okay, so that's the hardest bolt to get a hold of, right? So we're gonna start that bolt first. That way we know it's in, and it's not going to give us a fuss later on. See, we might need to wiggle this manifold around some to get those threads to catch properly. And if the rest of them are tight, I don't have any moving space. Okay. That one's threaded down, we're good. Let's drop the rest of these units in. Front row, my illuminator has died. I have to fix that. Probably needs more battery. There, all the bolts are in, this is good. Go fetch a battery unit, and poof, there is more light. So 8 mil again. Let us exercise trigger control, and we're going to tighten this thing down. Let's do a wiring harness check real fast, make sure nothing's pinched, which it is not. Good. Let's run these fasteners down, and then I will torque them. Sweet, that's good. So now I can plug in this one random one. That's oil pressure sending unit. We'll plug you in. I can go ahead and plug that back in while we're standing here. That's fine. Let's torque the rest of these fasteners, not forgetting the 8 in the corner. Now that one's the fun one because I can't get a torque wrench on it, so I have to torque it to what I think is the right specified amount, which is pretty much good and tight without stripping the threads in the cylinder head or breaking the plastic. And I think it's there. That's good. Okay, now as for the other ones, I can actually torque wrench those, and I shall. Do it right now. So this is a 2-pass torquing sequence. They're both in inch-pounds. First one is 44, second one is 89. There's the click. Yeah, 44 is easy. I felt said click. This one's loose. There's our clickage. This one's also kind of loose. Okay, back behind us. Okay, now that one feels about right. That one's good. Let's get the ones up in the front. Haven't touched those yet. This is first pass, 44 inch-pounds. Okay, now we step it up to 89. Do the final pass. There's 90 pounds, 89. There we go. There, that's a little bit more audible than the 44s. Gonna click or what? Okay, I was getting scared. The gaskets were compressing and it was non-stopping. The reason they do this in 2 passes, I think, is to prevent warpage while tightening. I mean, I know that's why. That's the only reason why. That's not okay. Something just did something weird. This bolt sort of moved over. See, there's room on top of that boss, and that bolt moved over. I don't like what just happened there. I'm going to take that out and redo it. It's like the top part of the shank was flexing. It felt weird. Yeah, see, it just did it again. All right, well, that's what it is, I guess. There's torque achieved. Now this one, yeah, that feels about the same as this side. Let me do a lipness test here. Okay. Get on there. Yeah, that's about right. Okay. So, let's get the rest of these guys. So that one did it too, it moved. Tick. But of course, just like the others, I'll do more than one pass just to verify here. Good. There it is. This one's a little tighter. There we go. That one's good. Let's check this one again. That one went down a little tighter. Check this one again. That one went down a little tighter. And that back corner is going down a little tighter too. One just below us. There it is. All right, cool. So that's all of the fasteners torqued to spec. Let's put some things back together, and I'll start with this little power steering hose here. That guy's annoying. And we'll use the Dave pliers, because they're closest and most readily available. There we go. That's good. Let's get some hoses plugged back in. This guy goes right there. This one for the purge valve down on the throttle body here that clicks on. And then right here. Brake booster hose, again over here in the throttle body. Slide that in. Yepper. Fuel line coming up. Plug that back in. Purge line. Let's get these heater core hoses back where they belong. That's good. And the rest of the wiring harness, flop that back over. We'll plug that nadir in. Fuel injector line, that's that way back there where we can't see it injector. Can't even see it, but I can feel it. And I heard it click. There we go. Zzz. That's tight. Now for the rest of the injector unit connectors. Get on there. There we go. O2 sensor connector, that goes out back. This little red guy for the purge valve. It's next in line. And then one more fuel injector right here. Right behind where I'm working. That's good. So we're good on that side of the engine, I think. Moving up towards the front, map sensor. That's there. Another injector. It's 4 down so far. We got 4 to go. This one's buried. I've put things back together and buried it. There. That one's on there. Next one, you guys see? Yep. That one's in. That one's in. Right here we've got the coil connector. Plug that back in. And its little safety clip retainer guy that's mostly broken, but it'll still work. There. Now it's all the way broken. Now it won't work. Okay, I tried. I'll have to zip tie that. Let's see. Is that all of them? Connected, connected, connected. Everybody's put away where it's supposed to be. This all is looking fantastical, I think. Yeah, let's get the air box back together. Put the filter in it, and we can fire this thing up. Stick you back in your home. So this guy, the airbox lid, I'm going to slide these pegs down into some slots in the bottom of the airbox here, and that's how it engages. That way you only have to use 2 clips instead of like 4 clips. Since we only have 1 clip, it's probably for the best. There. Okay, one final hose. Snap that in right there, and I think we're ready to hit the key, fire this thing up. So you guys wait here, you watch the engine. There she goes. It is alive. All right, we got her, folks. She's a running. Okay, so I need a zip tie to fix that, a couple other zip ties to replace the ones that I cut off, and I do believe that will conclude the repair on this 5.3 liter LS4 V8 in this 06 Monte Carlo. So guys, having said all that, I have nothing more to offer you in this particular video other than a thank you, as always, for watching this video. Let me know what you think about this car and this engine and this repair in the comment section down below. Do not forget to engage that like and subscribe button while you're down there. And most importantly, do not forget to have yourselves a great day. See you guys later in a video, in a Monte Carlo, in a LS4, intake, valley, VLOM, manifold repair, in a transmission.